I'm Anil Kumar, and in this video we will learn how to write a quadratic equation in factored form when given in standard form. So the question here is express each quadratic function in factored form. So that's the first part. And after that we'll find the characteristics of the equation when we have written it in factored form. Then the question is, then determine zeros, equation of axis of symmetry, and coordinates of vertex, right? These are the things which we need to do. So some of you may like to refresh factoring techniques, which you may do by following the link on this video. And I'll do one of these examples for you. The first one I'll do for you, 3x squared plus 15x is a standard form of the quadratic equation where the y-intercept is at 0 at origin, right? So we'll write it in factored form. 3x squared plus 15x could be written as 3x is a common factor, so we get x plus 5. So that becomes the factored form of the equation. Now from here, let us write down zeros. Zeros at this time could be 1 is at x equals to 0, so equate 3x to 0, so you find x equals to 0, that is the first 0. The second one you can write with x plus 5 equals to 0. That gives you at minus 5, so we get zeros. To find the equation of axis of symmetry, axis is midway between the zeros, so we say x is equals to average value of these two, that means 0 plus minus 5 divided by 2, so we get minus 2.5 as the axis of symmetry. To find the coordinates for the vertex, we have to substitute this value in the original equation to find y value. So we get y value as equals to 3 times minus 2.5 whole square plus 15 times minus 2.5. You could also use the factored form of the equation to find this value. Let's use calculator to calculate this answer. So minus 2.5 whole square plus 15 within brackets minus 2.5 gives us the y value minus 18.75, right? And so we know what the vertex is. So for this equation, vertex is going to be at x value of minus 2.5, which is always on the axis, and the y value of minus 18.75, right? So that gives you the parabola. Some of you can also sketch the parabola. This particular parabola, as you see, is the one which opens upwards, so I could always sketch it kind of like this, right? Where we know the zeros are at 0 and minus 2.5, minus 5, so those are the zeros. So let me sketch x-axis here, y-axis will be here, so that gives me two zeros. One is at 0, the other one is at minus 5. The axis for this parabola will be at minus 2.5, so that is the axis, correct? And this value here for the minimum will be minus 18.75. So you could sketch this parabola on a graph paper. It will look something like this, correct? Where this is y-axis, that is x-axis, correct? Let me give you factored form of these equations also. You can pause the video, complete your question, and then check with my solutions, right? When we have minus x squared plus 9, we could factor this as, we could take minus outside, right? And then say x plus 3 times x minus 3, right? This is difference of squares. You can use that difference of squares to factor this one. To factor these, let me show you how to factor with coefficient not equal to 1. So we'll do this one for you. So we are looking for product two numbers whose product is 2 times minus 3, which is 6 minus, and sum is 5. So what we can do is we can write this equation as 2x squared plus 6x minus 3. Combine the two terms, so we have 2x x plus 3. Here 1 is common, minus 1 is common. Let's take minus 1 common, so we get x plus 3 here. X plus 3 is a common factor, correct? So we could write this as 2x minus 1. So that becomes the factored form for the next equation. This one is very similar, right? You can follow the same strategy and factor the third equation and then figure out what are the zeros, axis of symmetry and vertex. Also sketch the graph. I hope this gives you a review of all what you've learned so far and helps you to understand the topic. I'm Anil Kumar. You can subscribe to my videos and learn a lot. Thank you and all the best.